San Diego. It's my mentor, Mr. Brendon Burchard. BB, we call him for short. He has just released High Performance Habits. He's got about 6 different books. He's been writing books for some time. What I love about him as an author is, first of all, he calls himself an author. You know, a lot of people in the self-development, personal development space, although they have written books, they don't really think that they're authors, and it's something that they have to do. They have to do to get the message out, and they do it. But I think Brendon thinks it's a craft. It's an art, and he's an artist. And if you look at the books that he's written, I think this is probably book number 7, if I'm not mistaken, High Performance Habits. You'll see that each book is different. Never is it the same. He's written nonfiction and he's written fiction. Now that is very, very odd. You know, if you're a reader by heart like myself, if you like to read books, it's not that common these days with all that social media going on. You'll really appreciate somebody that can flip back and forth like that and really experiment with their writing style. You know, typically it's always the same, but he's able to look at being an author or authorship as a craft, as an art, and essentially learn a new way of doing that art. So, you know, that's what this one's all about. It's actually a thesis. He's done a ton of research on, you know, what makes high performance and what makes people successful, sustainable, long-term success. So he's done, you know, tons of surveys and gathered tons of empirical evidence. You know, just like somebody that is, you know, in a PhD program or is a doctor of, you know, of something that has to write theses in publications for, you know, whatever they're trying to prove. He's done the same thing here. So it's just not another opinionated book of, you know, somebody that says, well, listen, this is what I think makes people successful. This is a book that says, this is what I know makes people successful. And I'm just going to read out the inside cover here. You know, for 20 years now, he says he's been obsessed with just that, you know, answering these 3 questions of success. Why do some individuals and teams succeed more quickly than others, and they sustain that success? Also, this is a really cool point here. I love this one. Of those who pulled off, who can say they were successful over the long term, how come some of them are absolutely miserable, hate their life, and some are really happy and look at it as a journey? And number 3 says here, this is why he wrote this book, is he wants to show us what motivates people to reach for higher levels of success in the first place, and what practices help them improve the most. And he's narrowed it down to 6 habits. Now, there weren't 6, I think there was 20 to 30, I can't recall, but he said that these 6 are the ones that always appear. And what are those? Let me just go over them really, really quickly here. I also want to let you know that you can get more information on this book. I want to support Brendon in getting his message out. So you can go to brendon.com/habits, and that's where you'll find more information on this book. And you can also get it at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, chapters if you're up in Canada. So here it is. Here's the 6 habits. Habit number 1, seeking clarity. Habit number 2, generating energy, cultivating energy, as I always call it in my videos. Habit number 3, raising necessity. You know, raising the importance, why it is so important, why it has to be done now. Habit number 4, increasing productivity. You know, we're always looking for those productivity hacks. You know, he's not about the hacks, he's about the habits, okay? It's not about taking shortcuts, it's about, you know, instilling habits that work for the long-term success and narrowing down what are the 6 greatest habits that you must have if you want to have sustained success. Habit number 5, developing influence. That's all about relationships. Habit number 6 is demonstrating courage. And as you know, earlier in this vlog, I told you that was one of my words. I used brave, courageous. You know, that really is the first and foremost thing that I want to cultivate within myself. That's what I always want to be pointing at. That's where I always want to be going to, in that direction of being more brave and more courageous in my life. So obviously that's one of those 6 habits. So again, you can go and find out more about this book. Highly recommend it if you want to be successful in any of those 3 critical areas of relationships, career, finance, and your health, of course.